Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm an amateur photographer living here in Poland, and I love messing around with street photography whenever I get the chance. Today I want to take you with me and show you what one of my street photography days looks like. We're in Katowice today, and we'll be walking around the city trying to capture some memorable moments together. Just a quick note before we start, I'm not an expert, and I'm definitely not here to teach anyone. I just want to share my thought process behind the shots I take and bring you along for the experience. So let's head out and see what we can find. And today we will be shooting with a Fujifilm XE-5. And since I wanted to get into manual focusing, I recently bought a 25mm f2 from TT Artisan, and I will be using this optic. And I think that this is a pretty good option for those who don't want to spend a lot of money because it's pretty cheap. But it gives a really nice vintage film-like look to the footage, which you will be seeing today. So we are starting our journey from this very modern part of the city, in which I love shooting because of the shapes of the buildings here. And here at the very beginning we find this gentleman walking around this modern building, and I wanted to capture his reflection in the windows, and I even took a picture, but unfortunately nothing interesting came out of this and I just deleted it. So after this first missed shot, I just moved on. I climbed the stairs on the left, and I was just very eager to take my first picture of the day. So I photographed this very nice building from the side, and this is the result. I don't really think that's anything special, but it was just the first one to warm up. So after this first warm-up picture, I moved on and I headed towards a really special place here in Katowice. In my opinion, it's one of the places with the best view here in Katowice, because it gives you the chance to admire the entire skyline of the city, and it's especially beautiful during the golden hour. And one peculiarity of this place, it's the roof of this terrace, which is, in my opinion, great for photographers, because it gives you many composition possibilities. And as you can see here, I found my first subjects of the day, which are those four gentlemen, which were coming from a shooting. So I didn't indulge, and I took a picture of them, and I think that the result is very interesting. I would definitely call this my first success of the day. Take a look. So after taking the picture, I just exchanged a couple of words with the gentleman. I thanked them for the shot, and here you can really see what I meant. The skyline is exceptional here, it's really beautiful, and the composition possibilities are endless. I noticed this lonely man and I took another shot, and this is the result. I think that this one also came out really nicely. So after taking the picture, I got down from the terrace and I headed towards this glass building, which is one of the symbols of the city, and I noticed this memorial. I wanted to use the concrete slabs at the sides as guiding lines, and I ended up taking this picture, which in my opinion is nothing crazy, but yeah, it's just an attempt. I wanted to show it to you. And then after taking this picture, I wanted also to photograph the building from the side, and I ended up taking this shot, which is also, in my opinion, nothing crazy, another mediocre shot. So at this point I was heading towards the city center, towards the main square, and in this underpass I noticed this great cone of light, and I waited for someone to pass by, and this man became the subject of my shot. And as you can see, I really like how the cone of light touches the man, illuminates half of his body. And I took two shots and I posted them both because, in my opinion, they both look really nice. Maybe the second one, the one on the right, looks a little bit better. So while heading towards the city center, I stumbled upon this lady which was smoking a cigarette while leaning towards the wall. I quickly took a sneaky low angle shot, and this is the result. Once again, nothing crazy, but I just like the composition. And just a while later, this man walked towards me. I quickly took a picture, and let me tell you, I think it's crazy. Easily my favorite so far. I love the lens flare, the positioning of the lens flare, and how the image was frozen. In my opinion, it's not perfect because it's a little bit overexposed in my opinion, but still a really nice picture. So we finally arrived to the main square in Katowice. This is a place that I tend to visit very often because it's a place where a lot of things happen. It's very chaotic, a lot of interesting people. So I tend to be here very often. And maybe I will use this moment in between the shots to tell you what was my plan for today. I was planning to focus on two main techniques. One of them was panning, which we will see in a bit, and the other one were low angle sneaky shots, because I really love the angle of those pictures. I like a POV from below, and I think that the pictures come out really nicely. So you will see mainly those two techniques in this video. And going back to the footage, I couldn't find really anything interesting until this moment when those birds flew. I tried to take a picture, nothing came out of it, so I took this other picture, which in my opinion is pretty cool. But moving on, I found those two gentlemen here waiting and chatting with each other, and I heard that the tram was approaching, so I just waited. I sat down, I waited for the tram, and I took this picture right here, which in my opinion is also very cool. I like the composition, the layering, and it's overall a nice picture. So as I told you earlier, I also wanted to try a little bit of panning. So this longer exposure technique where you have the subject which is frozen in the center of the shot, and then the background which is really blurry. It gives that motion effect. And those are some of the results. I mean, like the ones that I like the most. I really like the one on the top right corner. I think it's the best one out of the bunch. And here you have a couple more. Yeah, I definitely say that there is a big margin of improvement, but I really like this technique, so I wanted to experiment a little bit. At this point, I was just wandering around, looking for some interesting situations, and sure enough, I stumbled upon this lady with the dog, and I took this picture, and I'm really satisfied with it, especially because I took it in the right moment when she looked at the dog. In my opinion, it's really cool. Then I did another small session of panning, and those are the results. Pretty satisfied with them, especially with this last one, which in my opinion looks really cool. This like ghost effect of the person in the middle of the shot. And yeah, I ended up taking another couple of shots, but nothing really interesting came out of them. So here I was walking down the same street, but in the opposite direction, and I noticed this tram stop, and I immediately thought that it was really cool. And then I noticed another peculiarity, and the peculiarity is that those three gentlemen in the middle of the shot are each one of them it has a different age. Like on the right side you have a really young person, and in the middle there is a mature one, and on the left it's a bit older person. And I ended up taking this shot, and I love it because the age contrast, it's really visible, it's really punchy, and yeah, very satisfied about this one. So after those last two pictures, I moved to a different part of the city, and while walking, I noticed that behind me there was this crazy interesting gentleman talking at the phone with the briefcase. So I decided to speed up a little bit and went towards him, and I ended up taking this low angle shot, and I'm really satisfied about it. I like everything about this picture. I like the phone, the briefcase, the way he's dressed, overall really, really solid picture. So after that picture, I moved to this nearby tram stop, and I tend to come here pretty often because something interesting always happens here. There are always interesting people, and the situations are cool. So I just started looking around, and at the beginning I couldn't find anything particularly interesting. But then in this right corner, I found this gentleman which was enjoying the sunshine, and I took another low angle shot, and I ended up with this picture. Another great solid picture in my opinion. Then I moved a little bit in an opposite direction, and I found this lady smoking a cigarette, and I took this picture. I love it because it's great that the subject, it's not the lady, but the reflection on the wall. And that's a shot that I wanted to take for a very long time. And I'm really glad that finally I was able to take it. So in this part here, I was just heading back towards my car. And on the way back, I noticed this really cute lady, which was sitting on those steel benches. And I tried to take a shot, and I ended up with something like that. I was in the shadow, the lady is in the sun, and I also like those benches that create this guiding line, and this is the result. And finally, we have the last shots of the day. Here I found this gentleman playing the guitar, but he definitely didn't want it to be photographed. So I moved on, and on those stairs I stumbled upon this gentleman, and I took this waist picture. And I'm also really satisfied about this one because there's also the reflection, and those are the last two pictures of those gentlemen on a bike. And yeah, that's it for today. I really thank you for watching the video. If you like the content, you can leave a like, but most importantly, I would be really interested in your opinion. So if you want to leave a comment with what you think about the pictures, about my shooting style, I'd be really glad. So yeah, thank you very much, and see you in the next video.